The PGA Tour has been the premier league for the biggest professional golf tour in North America, with all the biggest names in golf playing under their purview for generations until the LIV Golf League came on board. Since then, the LIV Golf Series has been using its deep pockets to entice pro golfers with massive sign-up bonuses and other perks, and the big names wasted no time switching allegiances. But guess what? The PGA Tour just wasn't going to sit around and watch the Saudi-backed series poach its best talents. Monahan and his boys on tour knew they had to act fast to stop a gale of defection. So how did the upstart series become a rival to the age-long PGA Tour? And what is the American circuit doing to prevent players from ditching the tour? There's a lot to unravel, so stick around to find out the details. LIV Golf Invitational is arguably the most controversial upset in the game, and there's no gainsaying that its emergence in 2022 rocked the golf world. However, LIV Tour isn't the first time a breakaway circuit was attempted, but it has proven to be the most successful. You see, the PGA Tour was a breakaway that came into existence after golfers parted ways with the PGA of America in 1967 to establish the Tournament Players Division. After that, Greg Norman, the man behind LIV Golf, teamed up with media tycoon Rupert Murdoch in the mid-1990s in an attempt to create the World Golf Tour, a series which featured the top players competing in an 8-event series. Norman's series even went as far as securing a TV deal with Murdoch's Fox Sports. Apparently, the PGA Tour seemed a lot more prepared, and the tour was eventually crushed. But hey, Norman wasn't the guy to give up. He did lay low for a couple of years, but he came back for the tour. And this time, he took the golf world by storm. LIV Golf began to take form in the fall of 2019, with speculations of mega contracts being offered. LIV looked to lure in a couple of PGA Tour's top guns with lucrative prize pots and mega money signing fees following their inception in June. And this came with unexpected success, with some of the world's finest making the controversial Saudi switch. The first alarm bell rang when Monahan, the PGA Tour commissioner, issued a stern warning in January 2020 that any player who signed up with the league would face suspension and a possible lifetime ban. But this did little to deter players like Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, Ian Poulter, and Lee Westwood, who were the first wave of players to join the series and ditch the PGA. Other big names who jumped the pond to join the upstart series include Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Open champion Cameron Smith, Patrick Reed, Taylor Gooch, Joaquin Niemann, and a host of others. The players seem to have no regard for the suspension threat and other puntive measures in place, which begs the question, why are PGA Tour golfers switching to LIV Golf? In a word, money. LIV Golf is backed and funded by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, PIF, hence the controversy surrounding golfers switching allegiance. Saudi Arabia has often been criticized for the assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi and its handling of human rights over the years. Some accuse the Saudi government of sports washing by backing sport ventures including LIV Golf, while some paint the money as blood money. Irrespective of where the money comes from, the Saudi-sponsored series offers something that the PGA Tour doesn't, and that's by giving contracts to its players, in contrast to the American Tour's merit-based reputation. Phil Mickelson, the first and most notable golfer to join LIV Golf, was reportedly offered $200 million to make the switch. Explaining his decision to leave the PGA Tour, Lefty said that he was glad to have a fresh start, which he believes could change the way golf operates on a global scale. Mickelson's decision to join LIV Golf didn't come as a surprise, as the 52-year-old was one of the new startup league's most vocal supporters, even when he was still on the PGA. In February last year, it was reported that the 6-time major champion was considering joining the PIF-sponsored series because he felt it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to modify how the PGA Tour operates. They've been able to get by with coercive, manipulative, strong-arm tactics because we, the players, simply had no recourse, Lefty said of the American circuit in February to Alan Shipnuck. It'll interest you to know that the Big Phil has earned over $94 million during his 32-year career on the PGA Tour. So when he was offered $200 million to switch allegiances, you really wouldn't have expected him to turn it down. And the best part is, Phil has no regrets. Going forward, I think you have to pick a side, one which you think is going to be successful. I strongly believe that I'm on the winning side of how things will turn out in the coming years for professional golf. What about Dustin Johnson, who made the controversial switch knowing that his chances of playing in the Ryder Cup were slim? Well, Johnson equally remains unapologetic about his decision. You see, DJ has 25 PGA Tour wins and has earned over $74 million in prize money, which places him as the third highest earning golfer after Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, with 120 and 94 million respectively. Dustin also earned an additional $27 million in the FedEx Cup and is the third highest behind Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods, with 50 and 28 million respectively. Johnson was loyal to the American circuit till the Saudis offered him a 4-year deal. DJ's involvement with the Saudi-backed series was something of a surprise, but the deal he received speaks to his decision. Johnson signed a 4-year contract worth a reported $125 million. At that time, I was committed to playing the PGA Tour, said Johnson in his initial statement. I'm grateful for the PGA Tour and all it's done for me, but this is the best decision for me and my family. It's something new and exciting. Johnson does have every right to be excited. Think about it. Imagine earning $74 million on the PGA for 15 years and a chance to make $125 million in just 4 years on a new series. And that doesn't include prize money and bonuses attached to the event. While still in a state of euphoria, Dustin took a sarcastic dig at the PGA Tour. We were talking about it yesterday, and I regretted my decision to join LIV Golf. It's been pretty terrible. You can only understand how terrible DJ feels for joining the LIV League. This guy has earned $74 million in his entire PGA Tour career, whereas within 1 year in the new league, Johnson has already racked up $35 million, which excludes the $125 million contract he signed. After Dustin was Bryson DeChambeau, who outrightly stated that his decision was strictly business and nothing personal. Bryson was one of LIV Golf's first targets, and after he turned down initial offerings to join SS LIV, he officially defected to the circuit in late June. First and foremost, it was a business decision, and that's all there was to it, said Bryson. It's given me and my family a lot more opportunity outside the game of golf, and there was a lot of financials to it. Bryson further explained his decision, saying that the tour gave him certain things that the PGA didn't, like the resources to invest in his local community and improve his foundation. Another former PGA Tour heavy hitter to join the Upstart Series following the 2022 US Open was Brooks Koepka. In the days leading up to the major, the 4-time major winning declined LIV Golf questions, fueling speculations that he would be ditching the PGA Tour. Later, during a LIV Golf event, Brooks was asked why he had a change of heart, to which he replied, "My opinion changed, and I'm allowed to do that." It's no surprise that LIV Golf's reduced schedule is part of the appeal for Koepka and another LIV golfer who called the PGA Tour schedule brutal. In an interview with Golf Digest, Cameron Smith admitted that joining LIV Golf was purely a business decision, as money was a significant factor. And that's not all. He also said he needed more time for his family, as the tour's schedule was brutal. Money was a factor in making the decision, and I won't deny that, Cameron said. I just couldn't ignore the offer. It was a business decision. The major reason for my joining is the league's appealing schedule. I'll finally be able to spend quality time at home in Australia, which is something I haven't been able to do. Honestly, getting that part of my life back was really appealing. These golfers are a mere handful of the high-profile players to sign on the dotted line with Norman & Co. This ignited a bitter feud between the PGA Tour and LIV, with the American-based circuit inflicting bans on all the rebels who decided to make the mega money move. Ever since golf's civil war has spiraled out of control. But what do you think about the golf's civil war between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf?